Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm going for a ride on a nice twisty road some call Pennsylvania's Tail of the Dragon. Now this year I rode the back of the dragon for the first time, and the real Tail of the Dragon has even more curves than that. This road doesn't have near the number of curves of either of those two, but it does have several hairpins and twisties, so I guess it's the closest we have. For any who are interested, super thanks are now available on my videos. Aside from that, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and like if you haven't already done so. While we're enjoying this nice ride through the Pennsylvania countryside, let's talk about some motorcycle news. This weekend is, of course, the big Harley 120th anniversary homecoming party weekend in Milwaukee. A couple of my friends got tickets and are up there right now. Apparently there are bikes absolutely everywhere. There's also a Harley-themed Ford F-250 truck available for $126,000 if anyone is feeling extra wealthy. Moving on, some bike manufacturers are already announcing model updates for 2024, particularly those in the EU, BMW, Triumph, and I know a couple of the Japanese manufacturers are starting to announce some of their changes as well. I'm not going to get into that today. I'll talk about those later in the year when I do my 2024 lineup videos. Harley is now manufacturing a bike in India called the X440. It's a single-cylinder model that at this point is not going to be sold in the US. I don't know if they're going to expand it beyond India over in Asia at all, but for right now it looks like it's just being sold in India. Royal Enfield has now added the Hunter 350 to their lineup, available in the US. It has the same basic specs as the classic 350, just some different styling and a little less expensive. Honda has released their SCL 500, which is a street scrambler style bike with a parallel twin 470cc engine, 420 pounds, 3.2 gallon tank, and a 31-inch seat height, starting at $6,800. Not a bad looking bike in my opinion. Seems like everyone is jumping on the street scrambler bandwagon, as is evidenced by the number of manufacturers adding scramblers to their lineups and the growth of Royal Enfield in the States. And finally, in the news for high-end motorcycles, there's a new contender in town. If you've got some serious cha-ching in your pocket and you have a thirst for power, check out the Odette Veloz. Sounds French. I wonder if Veloz is short for velociraptor. I don't know. So if you know me or have watched my videos for a bit, then you'll know that up until recently I had an Indian Chieftain which I really liked. The Indian Thunderstroke engine is an amazing engine with more power than its Harley competitors. And I'll be honest here, I really like my Harley heritage, but I also miss my Chieftain. That was a really nice bike, and I'm not a brand specific rider. There are features of each one that I really like. The Odette company took the Indian Thunderstroke 116 engine as the engine for its Veloz and have modified it to give it a lot more oomph. One of the options on this bike is that they will modify the engine up to a 2147cc with 156 foot-pounds of torque and 128 horsepower. The only cruiser with more power than this beast is the Triumph Rocket 3, which has a 2500cc engine. But this bike only weighs 467 pounds, which means it has the best power-to-weight ratio in the American cruiser market. The Veloz has a 32.5-inch seat height and a short wheelbase of only 63.5 inches. I'm a little surprised that this is a chain-driven bike instead of belt-driven. Maybe that's because of its minimalist open styling, I'm not sure. This power cruiser starts at a low price of $89,000 for the base model, which has only 138 foot-pounds of torque. There are a bunch of upgrades available, including the engine upgrade for a price if you want to add even more onto that $89,000. Me personally, while I find the power very appealing, I'm not too sure what I think about the styling and the open bobber look. I guess I'm a bit too much of a traditional cruiser guy, All in all, this is an amazing bike if you have the money. I would guess this is primarily a competitor for Keanu Reeves' Arch motorcycles. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you had the money, would you buy one of these? So that's about it for this one, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Catch you on the next one.